Hey DeFi Dorks, and welcome to this video on the YieldZilla protocol. So a quick disclosure, this content is sponsored by the team, but all the views and opinions are my own. YieldZilla is promising to pay 2.5% daily, and that's rebased every 15 minutes. It's an auto stake platform, and it's on the Binance Smart Chain. So before we dive into this, let's just watch a quick disclaimer.
Hi. Any information or opinions expressed on the DeFi Dogs YouTube channel are not to be considered or constituted as financial or investment advice. It is purely informational. Do your own research and enjoy the crypto journey.
Hey guys, and welcome to the YieldZilla video. So I hope you took heed of that disclaimer. I do think it is very important to be aware that this is in no way financial or investment advice. Do your own research, and in any of these high APY projects, make sure that you are only investing what you can afford to lose. That being said, I do think there is a lot to like about this project, which is why I want to get involved, which is why I was happy when the team reached out. So I'm going to do a quick dive into the project. We're going to take a look at the Discord, the white paper. They've been audited, so we'll take a look at that as well. They've also been KYC'd. And we're going to have a look at their Twitter. And then finally, we'll get into the PinkSale and the pre-sale, which is happening in less than 24 hours. That's tomorrow, which is Friday, the 25th of March, 2 p.m. UK time. So obviously tweak that for your own personal time zone if it is something that you want to get involved with. Obviously, if you miss the PinkSale or you can't make that, then it does go onto the open market for the normal sale, and you can get involved that way as well. But obviously, there'll be price fluctuations as there is with any of these things. If you have monitored any launches over the past few months, then you will see that these things often pump, and then we tend to get a big correction. So, however you want to play this, not financial advice. Just make sure you're not putting in more than you're prepared to lose. Okay, so with that being said, I think the best place to start with any of these projects is the Discord. The YieldZilla's got a nice Discord. Lots of information. The announcements have been kept up to date, and they are progressing through their roadmap, which is nice to see. The website is now live as well. They've been doing some contests, and they've updated as well on the state of their KYC, which has just happened within the last hour or so. And yeah, they're also communicating with the team via their Twitter as well. Okay. So this is why I always think it's a good place to start, and then dive into the general chats as well in the Discord platforms. I mean, your Discords can get pretty overwhelming if you're following multiple projects, but if you dive into the general chat, once you've done your research, once you've read the white papers, if it's something that you're interested in, ask your questions in the general chat. And if the community is engaged, which this one does seem to be, then you should get some good answers back, either from the mods, the developers, or just the team members as well, or just other community members. But just look for the little red dots next to announcements as well. So if you're in multiple projects, you can dive into the Discord, and if you can see one or two red dots on the announcements next to it here, you can click in here and you can just scroll down to the most recent and see what you've missed, because this will be information coming directly from the team, which is why it's always worth checking there first. Okay, so the Discord, seems good. A lot of buzz, but obviously you get that with new projects. Start there. Okay, so the white paper, let's dive into this. This is the YieldZilla white paper. Now, if you followed the Titano project at all, then you'll know that that's been quite explosive in recent months. And I personally feel like I missed the boat on that one. The price has been rising quite steadily, and I think I've missed like a good entrance point, certainly for now. Maybe if we get a big market correction on that could be something to look into in the future. But for YieldZilla, we are pre-launch. Remember, this doesn't launch until tomorrow, and even then, after it does launch, it'll still be very, very early for this particular project. So that's why I am very, very keen to get involved in this. And I also like the fact that, unlike the swathe of node projects that have exploded onto the scene in recent months, many of which I am actually a part of, then you will notice something quite interesting and unique and different about the tokenomics of this particular protocol, and that is auto-compounding. Okay, so unlike Vapor nodes, Thor nodes, Stromblock, Univ, any of these projects where you buy the token, you exchange the tokens into a node, and those tokens are often then burned, locked away. It's a sunk cost, and you cannot recoup that initial investment. You just earn your rewards in perpetuity. Where obviously some of those projects are now drifting towards creating NFTs out of those nodes to open it up to a resale market. Univ has already done that. We've seen problems with that with projects like Univ. If I just take a quick look at the Univ chart, you can see that with the sale pressure of that secondary market becoming cheaper, it means that we often tend to don't get the purchasing of the native token. It's just cheaper to buy the NFT version of the node on the secondary market. So you do get price action like this. However, this particular project does have a big update coming in the next few days. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But if we dive back into here, you will see that this is actually an auto compounding mechanism, okay, built into the smart contract. So it's on the Binance Smart Chain. You will purchase your tokens, and then all you have to do is hold. Okay, so you will earn that APY will be directly represented into your holding in your MetaMask wallet. So that APY will just increase the value of the native token that you hold. There is no need to stake. Okay, there is no lost equity in terms of it being locked away or a sunk cost. Okay, if you put $1,000 into this at the point of purchase, and that gave you a value of $1,000 at your time of purchase. If that token price was to sustain at the price that you purchased, then you would be able to resell those tokens for $1,000 in the future. Now, obviously, that's price dependent, and there is no way in 1,000 years that price is going to be stable. This is crypto. But you do have that option, okay? So if you wanted to recoup some of your losses if there was a drop in price, or if you wanted to cash out some of your profits if there was an increase in price, there is no, for want of a better word, ROI period, okay? So for example, with Strong, if you're going to invest in the Strong project, then you need 10 tokens. You buy those 10 tokens at market value, let's say $100, costs you $1,000 to get in, earning your roughly 0.1% a day. Well, 1% a day is going to take you about 100 days before you get a return on your investment. So it's going to take you 100 days just to get to break-even point. Okay, whereas with these auto compounding platforms such as Titano and now YieldZilla, you will actually be earning that APY, that 2.5% crazy daily APY from day one, and you can cash out at any time. Okay, which means everything from the point of purchase is actually, to quote unquote, profits, okay, depending on the sustainability of the particular project. And that is something which brings me to sort of my overall and overarching point of this particular video. I do categorize this as a degen play, okay? I am excited by it. The team's interesting. I've enjoyed the way that they've progressed the project so far. I don't have any reason to believe straight off the bat that this is a scam. However, I am very skeptical of these crazy high APYs, but I do see that they've put some things in place in order to make that treasury and that reward payout more sustainable than the Titano, of which it's a fork of. But we will see. And as we'll just take a quick dive now into the actual white paper, and we can see what they're talking about. So yeah, it's an auto compounding contract on the Binance Smart Chain. And once you purchase your tokens, you'll earn 2.5% daily, which they've said is a fixed APY, 9,016,474%. And that, they say, is fixed for the first 12 months. Okay, so no way to know if that's definitely going to happen. But that's what they've got in the white paper. They also have a couple of other mechanisms, such as this emergency savings with YieldZilla Emergency Savings, which they've acronymed as YES, which is another way they say is going to limit the risk. And they're saying that 5% of the fees will get sent to that sort of emergency savings account, which they will use as a price stability mechanism. Staking simplified, so you buy your tokens, and that is essentially the staking process. You will just simply hold, and the rewards will go directly into your wallet, or they will actually be hard coded into that staking mechanism of which the contract is written, and therefore you will just see that increased reward in the value of your actual token. So really interesting. I think this is probably the next sort of swathe of projects we're going to see. We had the DAO season, node season, and we're probably going to be into somewhat of this auto compounding season, possibly. Just my 2 cents there. Yeah, it's going to be paying out every 15 minutes, or you're going to have an update every 15 minutes on that rebase, on that actual reward. And then there's automated burning mechanism as well, which is quite interesting. So that sort of price stability you get from buybacks and burns is actually going to be hard coded into the contract as well. So that will be interesting to see how that plays out. So they seem to have done a lot on the actual tokenomics side of the contract in order for sustainability. But obviously, as we all know, this is pretty much built on Ponzonomics, like most of these projects. Although the tokenomics looks good from the perspective of the sustainability of the APY and the rewards pool, we do kind of want to see another side of that, which is the deployment of the treasury, and we don't actually get a lot of information in the white paper here about that. But who knows? If they build up a decent sized treasury initially, if the team has a good outlook and puts that money to good use. That coupled with the relatively sustainable looking tokenomics could be, a happy marriage. That it could do really well. But like I said, a bit of a degen plan, a bit of a degen play, should I say? So we will see. The black hole is where 3% of all the fees go. And as volume increases, the black hole grows in size, increasing through self-fulfilling auto-compounding, reducing the circulating supply and keeping the YieldZilla protocol stable. Obviously, as the circulating supply goes down, the price should go up. And the black hole wallet is hard-coded. Null wallet, no one can ever access it, no keys associated with it, and you can never be retrieved. That's the black hole. And then the auto liquidity engine. This part of the white paper just discusses the taxes and the fees and how the tokens are deployed. And then we have, I think the fees is just probably another important part of the puzzle. There is 15% for buys. So when you actually buy your tokens, 15% of whatever you buy will go as a fee. So if you did buy $1,000 worth of tokens, then $150 of that wouldn't appear in your wallet, if that makes sense. And then when you sell, 20% of what you sell will actually go in fees as well. So they've started off quite high here. Some projects launch without any buy or sell fees, and then that has to be retrospectively added into the contract, either via a DAO vote, which can cause a lot of uproar in the community. So hopefully this project has started off with, quite upfront, and they've got these fees clearly labeled. They're relatively high, so we should see this could keep it sustainable for longer. And with these projects as well, sometimes it's just good to get in, ride the buzz, ride the hype, and then either the team is able to capitalize on that momentum, and then deploy the treasury in a way, engage the community in a way that really takes the project to the next level. If not, then if you've got in early, if it goes to zero and you've lost what you put in, if not, you might be able to make some good money. So it's interesting to see. I like what they're doing, and I'm quite keen to get involved. So essentially, that's the bulk of the white paper. I advise you to take a look into this into more detail before obviously investing with any of your funds. Quite an interesting roadmap. Take a look at this, obviously, in your own time. They've actually just done this today, the rug.kyc, and we'll take a quick look at that as well. And then they've got the run-of-the-mill stuff. Going to do YouTube, launch on PancakeSwap, obviously after the PinkSale, and then they're going to obviously try and get listed on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and then really they just want to increase the amount of holders. So they haven't actually got much more than that. So it's pretty boilerplate in terms of treasury. A roadmap. I do apologize. Right. Okay. So the audit. They do have an audit from this company here called auditrate.tech. Not blown away by this, to be honest with you. The company's quite small. Haven't really heard of them, and haven't really got particularly big Twitter following either. If we take a quick look at their Twitter account, it's a pretty small audit company, so I think it's quite cheap, especially if you can compare to something like Certit, which is quite a bit more expensive. I wouldn't give the audit too much credence, but I think they possibly will go for a Certit audit as that treasury gets built up. Take a look through this, though. It's still worth looking at. I mean, they did pass them on everything, which which is, I suppose, good to see. I mean, I'm not a technical person, so depending on the reliability of this particular audit company, maybe if you know more about this audit company and you have more trust or faith in this particular audit company, then that would give more credence to the actual audit results themselves. But if not, you could take a look through this, and if anything jumps out at you, you could take a deeper dive into that as well. So always good to see if an audit's been done. At least they're taking the steps to try and provide that comfort for their investors. But like I said, it not a lot of weight for me, just because it's not a brand name of which I recognize, but it's still worth looking at. Now, they have been KYC'd with RugDoc, which obviously I have heard of. So it's worth taking a look at that. This just came through today, and there are it has been labeled with some risks. So if we take a look here, we can see that the custom reflection dividend distribution token in Binance Smart Chain. So the liquidity pair addresses can be set to 0 or a non-LP pair address. Okay, so they've got that as a warning there, and the liquidity is not locked and can be dumped at any time. Please clarify with the project on liquidity locking or burning. So if we actually go to the Twitter account, we can see that they've just posted that their audit's been completed, and then they address the issue with the lock-in here, which they've said they will update the liquidity lock part of the audit. So the team is actually, once the PinkSale is finished, 51% of the pre-sale funds will immediately get locked for 69 years. So RugDoc isn't able to confirm that until obviously they've actually done it, and the YieldZilla team are saying that will be done immediately after the PinkSale is completed. So it's worth obviously keeping an eye. Maybe you want to wait for the pre-sale to have finished, see that liquidity gets locked, which obviously you could do on a scanner as well. Just see the contract, see if the liquidity is locked as they have claimed. And obviously, if that does happen, then I'm sure that will be updated as well by the RugDoc team on the KYC audit as well. But it is good to see that they've been KYC'd, and at least it's with a company which is recognizable as well. Only one of the 6 members have KYC'd though, and they are using multi-sig for its governance privileges though. So yeah, take obviously a deeper dive into that as well before making any financial decisions or commitments to the particular protocol. So just we'll take a quick look at the Twitter account. So the community, always good to see if they've got a following, 10.3k followers, which is pretty awesome considering they're not even at launch yet. Launch is tomorrow, and they are offering these crazy APYs, which is. Sometimes it's better to see the project offer lower sustainable APYs, but even that being said, I see so many projects saying, I see so many, like YouTubers or big Twitter accounts saying, this is a particular project which I'm interested in. It has a very sustainable 1% per day payout, which is still crazy. 1% a day is insane anyway. Obviously 2.5% is crazy. Is it that much more crazy? That's for you to decide. But if this is something you can get in early and possibly, ride the highs, if there is a buzz, I've seen some project like Titano, it got so much heat pre-launch, and then, its price has just has been so steady since launch. We'll see. Take a look though. They've got a lot of followers, and it's worth seeing what they're tweeting out as well. And if this isn't something you want to get involved with tomorrow, or if you're not able to lock in a purchase at the PinkSale Pre-sale, then don't forget you can on your Twitter you can set the notifications to alarm bell you. So anytime that the YieldZilla account tweets, if you set this notification bell for all their tweets, then that will ping directly to you. And if it's any important or pertinent information, then that's something you can act upon as well. Okay, so last but by no means least, the PinkSale Pre-sale. This is an interesting part for me. There's no whitelist. There hasn't been any big whales that are able to get in a hugely deflated price. This is going to be open to everybody at the same time via the PinkSale website, which is sort of a launch pad for protocols, and within this they have the launch pad sales. So you can come in here. Obviously, when YieldZilla is on here, it will be well, I'm sure maybe it is already on here if it's upcoming. haven't actually dived into this properly yet, but basically when you actually, we could just take a quick look. Maybe it'll be on tomorrow. I think this has a lot of I think this has a lot of projects launching continuously. Okay, yeah, so it's not quite on here yet, but it should be by tomorrow. Obviously, they're doing it through PinkSale, so this is where it'll be. But if you find the launches in here, and then you can connect your MetaMask, and you can just buy directly with BNB. And if you just dive into the Discord as well, and if you come down here to pre-sale info, you can see that they're doing a pre-launch price 1 BNB, which will get you 24.66 YDZ, which is the native YieldZilla token, a soft cap of 4,000 BNB and a hard cap of 8,000 BNB. Okay, and they've got the minimum maximum price, and then the initial supply and the max supply as well. So that's all the information that you need, and that's the time there. And there's no whitelist, so yeah, you can get in just like everyone else. So check your time zones, check out if it's something you want to get involved with. Yeah, leave me a comment as well if this video has been any value to you. If this is a project you're excited in, I am going to make some update videos as well to let you know my progress with this particular project. But I do think this is a very, very interesting degen play, and it's something which I hope to make some money with. So yeah, drop me a comment and show some love on Twitter as well. Okay guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.